All right then, my G. So hopefully everything's up and running. Slurp it up, slurpty derp. I just made a fresh batch of coffee. So I've got 2.5 cups to get me through this this particular live stream. I was just doing a little Instagram stream to try and get a few more people to come over and have a watch. So that's why I'm 30 seconds late. All right. So let's get cracking then. Hopefully you can all hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, and if you can hear the music sausages. Yeah, just put a 1 in the chat and then I'll get started. Can always hop in the live. Oh, we got a 1. We've got a 1. So, we've got a 1. That means we're going to get started. So, cool. All right. Yeah, good. Thank you all massively for all your submissions today. It really means a lot because, yeah, sometimes we get lots of tracks. Sometimes we just get a few. But today we've got 11, which is a really good number, I think. I'm really excited to hear some of these. Yeah, so big ups to all of the Discord squad. Thanks for all your support. Honestly, not being funny, but if you guys weren't like supporting me on Patreon, I probably wouldn't be able to do this. So this is all down to you guys. So thank you so much. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump straight in. There's no particular order. I think it's just ordered them by alphabet. So we've got a track from 9 Wrenches, who is a new member on my Discord. So thanks for joining, bro. We've got Callie, a long-time supporter. We've got Carl, absolute G, down in Worthing/Brighton, who I actually went to visit for a couple of mentorship sessions a few months ago when I was in England, a couple of months ago. Then we've got Craig, who's a new mentorship student of mine. He's got a great kitchen that he produces in. And he's making some absolute beastie tunes, though, from what I've heard already. We've got Digipax, who actually smashed one of my previous live streams, and his song took my attention so much. I was like, if I start a label, you're going to be on it. And, well, I mean, someone's going to be releasing a track on my new label next week. Might be this guy, you know? Hint, hint, wink, wink. Anyway, then we've got XD Vane. I don't know how to say the name. XD Vane? XD Vane? Am I saying it right? All right. New member as well. Thanks for joining. Haven't heard from you yet. H-Man has been absolutely smashing my older streams with some absolute high-energy neurofunk bangers. So I can't wait to listen to that. We've got Koba. Mark, my dark disciple. My most loyal Patreon supporter. Well, I say most loyal. That's like favoritism. So I'm going to detract that, but thank you, Mark, for all your support. You've been an absolute G, and we got to meet down in Brighton, and you came to Volks, which was absolutely sick. So thanks for that, bro. And then, oh, do you know what? Am I missing a track from Ian? I think I might be missing a track. Hang on, I'm really sorry, guys. It feels like I'm missing a track here. I think I had one from Ian, and then I've. I think I'm missing a track from Ian, aren't I? Did I not download it? I'm terribly sorry. Oh, look. Danger. Is there one called Danger in there? I've messed it up, haven't I? I've messed up the stream. So have we got 12 tracks? Alright. I'm really sorry, guys. Sorry about this. I feel like I already did that, but maybe I messed it up. All right. Hello everyone in the chat. Sorry, that was really unprofessional of me. I thought I arranged them all. So we've actually got 12 tracks. This is an older track of Ian's. If I've missed anyone else out, I'm really sorry. I did go over them. Obviously, I'm not very thorough. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Jake. Yeah, we'll go there. Okay. So anyway, sorry, where was I? H-Man has been making some bangers. Mark, and yeah, because I was thinking Mark and Ian, because Ian was down in Brighton as well for the gig. So thanks, and also Rekiv. So Rekiv from Belgium came all the way from Belgium to Brighton for a show at the Overview night, which was sick. And Rekiv is making some absolute bangers. Then we've got my student Rory as well, who's making some more liquidy, nice stuff. So looking forward to that. And then we've got Ride, who is, I think, the longest surviving Patreon supporter that I have. He's been on there since I first started it 9 years ago. No, 2 or 3 years ago. Big ups to you, Ride. So, yeah. So, let's crack on then. We got some fruit. Counthouse says, let's get the intro, some fruit throwing. I don't think I've actually got any fruit today. Sorry. Yeah. I've ratted Craig out as a kitchen producer. That's right. I made my track inspired by the Brighton experience, said Mark. Sick. Can't wait for that. And Digipack says he doesn't like his snare, so we'll be listening closely to that. Anyway, let's get started, otherwise we'll be here forever. So here's 9 wrenches with hydrocarbon. By the way, I actually also used to be a kitchen producer, Craig, so don't worry. In one of my old flats, I had no space for the studio in the other room, so I set up my desk in the kitchen, and it was dope because like making tea and coffee and getting food was just like, you know, just have to turn around and it was there.
You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination.
There we go. That was 9 wrenches with hydrocarbon. You tuned into BBC Radio introducing. No, not really. Yeah, that was really, really cool, man. I really like that. It's the first track I've heard from you. And honestly, I thought the vibe, the flow, the feeling of it was very classic. Sounded a little bit old school, but also by no means like super outdated or something. Still has a wicked vibe. So I really like that. Just one or two little tips. I think in general, like, just want a little bit more clarity between the elements. They're sort of like 80 or 85% there, you know, it's just that final like little percentages of getting a bit of extra clarity, particularly by maybe EQing out some of the muddy areas in some of the sounds. Like maybe there might be a little bit too much low end reverb clashing with stuff, or there might be just a little bit of extra side chaining to go on still, perhaps. That main mid bass could have a slightly more modern sound design on it too. But other than that, the flow is sick. And also just be careful of your stereo in your low end. I've done a mid-side EQ for you here because there was quite a lot of stereo like in the sub. You just take that out and it's going to be a bit cleaner. You can boost it a bit more then. But yeah, that's really cool, man. Honestly, that aside from that feedback, it is an absolutely great tune. I really like that a lot. I could listen to that again, definitely. So thank you. And we got some good comments in the chat as well. What are you guys saying? You know it. Craig's talking about his kitchen again. Come on, Craig. Yeah. Craig says banger. Mark says I'm cranking all of these up loads. Yeah, man. Let's get it pumping. This is sick. Punching drums, says Mark. Rolling banger, says Ride. And Digipack's nice one. So thumbs up all round, mate. Really nice there. So let's crack on then with Callie, who has been, a long-time supporter. So making more of the Neurofunk stuff usually, but I think he's gone down a different vibe perhaps on this one. But yeah, he's just popped in the chat right on time for his song. So here he is, Pascal, aka Callie, with Templar C minor, 90 BPM. Oh, even a nice little bit of outro there. Wow, what can I say, Callie? To be honest, mate, I know this is not your sort of classic, typical Neurofunk style, but this is my favourite track that I've ever heard from you by far. Callie said recently on Discord he's been kissed by a muse. So I would say let the muse keep kissing you because it seems to be working. It's much more, it's very sexy. It's a very sexy track. It's got a much nicer flow on it. Really, really nice and musical. Really, really, really like it. Can't really say anything bad about it. Just wanted to boost a little bit the brightness, like the kind of, what was it, sort of, 1.5 with the main sort of treble area. I wanted to kind of boost that a bit, especially on the lead. The this kind of high pitched lead you've got. I was trying to bring that out a bit more. It feels like it's sort of in the middle of the room. I feel like it needs to come like right up to the front. So I would like boost that lead a bit more, I reckon. But one or two of the other lead sounds, maybe a little bit of extra brightness on them, just bringing them up really. Nothing crazy. But yeah, really sick, man. But honestly, best track I've heard from you ever. Well done. So, who we got next then? We'll go with Carl. I don't know if Carl's on the stream. Maybe he'll join in later. So maybe I'll. I don't know if he's coming in, if he's just going to be late, or if he can't make it. But I'm going to put him to the back just in case he joins late, because we know Craig's already in here because he can't stop talking about his kitchen. So I'm going to go for Craig next then. But yeah, wicked stuff, Callie. We had some great feedback in the comments as well. Hello XDVN as well. Thanks for joining the chat. Ride says he loves the intro. Callie Digi says nice samples. Counthouse says very sexy. I also agree. Mate absolutely loves this. Is this sitar in the background? Says Mark, and yes it is. And something about a snare drum frequency from Ride. Digipack says something mystical about it. Mark says mysterious and mystical. XDVN says a nice soft on the beat ride cymbal here and there could help differentiate the song blocks and get the groove more flowing. That's a great tip. Yeah, could have a little bit more stuff in the high end in the track still. There's a bit of space for some high end elements in there still if you want to keep working on it. Man of many talents. NZ Audio says chill, maybe a bit of bass amp cab plugin. Ride says geez. And Craig says makes me want to put on some old school West Side G-Funk. There you go. We can never get enough of that, especially during summer. And XDVN, this is very textural sounding. Counthouse again, well done, Pascal. So, all right, let's crack on with Craig next then, as he is here and present in the classroom. So, Craig with Lost Focus. And I think your name's Prolific, isn't it? I can't remember the production name. I think it was Prolific. We'll have to confirm that later. But Craig, anyway, is his real name.
hope you let us take him.
The outro was a disappointment, wasn't it? Ride says reload. All right.
Yes, it smelled crazy in here.
Oh, what a killer. Absolute blood fire, absolute stomper. Makes me want to throw my nan off a cliff. No, not really. I would never do that. I love my nan. Both of them. I've got two. Nans have outlived the granddads in both sides of my family, so let them live on for longer. Craig, you've absolutely done yourself. What am I trying to? I'm speechless, basically. Words have been lost focus. You've made me lose focus, Craig. Wow. Yeah. Why are we not working on this one in the sessions? This is the best one you've showed me. But yeah, it's like 89%, 93% done. I would say there's like some small tweaks that could make it even more glorious. But the overall not even concept, the overall tune is just absolutely slapping, you know? The flow on it, the bass groove you've got, the little style points you put in, the little gaps and moments of twists and turns that come in along with it. Really amazing. I really enjoyed that. I was dancing the whole way through, as you probably saw. And yeah, I mean, we can just read the comments. You know, you don't need my validation anymore. So this is going to have some kitchen sink in it. It definitely did. Immediately Epic says, Mark, song maybe part of, oh, that's an older comment. Yeah, Prolific is his production name. Oh damn heavy, says Pascal. Bloodfire, says Ride. Ugh, big tune, says Digipax. Them drums are a killer, says Ride. Leave some bass face for the rest of us, bro. Jeez, says Mark. And Count House again, the kick is hitting me right in the chest. It's great. Mix down on point, says XDVN. My ears needs more sub bass, but my ears dumb. I think we had a quite good amount of sub. We can check the level on it, but I think it's definitely in the ballpark. Yeah, that tune, the tune in the break is nice. Want to hear it more? Very transparent sound, dank, and yeah, quite perfect, says Craig. Morning, Rude Boy. Good morning, Audio Artisan. Thanks for joining the chat. And good day to you, Manuel Gonzalez. Thanks for waking up. How early is it where you are? Where are you from again? Is it... you're not in Brazil, are you? I don't know why I think you're in Brazil, but... Or you... I don't know where you are. Just remind me, because I can't remember. Anyway, that was an absolute banger. I'm really, really excited by this. Honestly, I want to just hear it again, but we've got to move on. So... We're going to move on to another loyal patron supporter who is making some fire recently, and he will be sticking around for sure. His name is Digipax. He is a head chef in a restaurant in Cologne, and not only does he cook up some absolutely, this is it's a cliche joke here. It's not only does he cook up some delicious dishes, he also cooks up some absolute fire in the studio. So anyway, Digipax with Simon says not finished, feedback F major. Okay. we have it from the West German Neurofunk chef Sky Daddy himself. This was absolutely a smasher. And yes, Digipax will be dropping a track on my brand new label next week. Not this one, but a different one, because he has been a loyal supporter for a while and he has just leveled up so much in the last few months. It's ridiculous. We did a stream when I was in Colombia and he played a track on there and I was like, what happened? I want to talk to you and find out what happened, because there was a sort of shift and suddenly your compositions went from like 70% to just like fucking 120. And yeah, amazing again here. It feels like you really got the knack of it now. There's nothing really I can say. It's, you know, maybe in the mix downs, like, I don't know, little tiny parts that could have a tweak, but really it's sort of 98% there, in my opinion. So I won't really get into that nitty gritty detail now. But yeah, that's absolutely sick. I love it. Love the flow. Love the sound design. Love a lot of these leads that you've used to break up the chaos a bit. There's some nice melodic little kind of sci-fi leads going on that sounds sick in the mix. Yeah, and the flow is dope. I really like your drums. You've got a really like kind of distorted, punchy, like kind of your own sort of drum sound going on as well. It's like not quite like perfect, but it's like distorted in a nice way, you know? So I really like it. Yeah, fantastic composition. Really amazing. Can't really say too much more. Let's see what the comments are saying. Oof. Pure heat, says Pascal. Digipack's not only cooking bangers in the kitchen. Sick intro. Digi is the king of ridiculously sick intros. People are liking that, you know. A lot of people struggle with intros. You seem not to be doing that. You seem to have that nailed down. All about building that tension, setting the atmosphere, and people enjoying the way that you do that. Stomper says Count House. Manuel says better than coffee, who's just woken up in Mexico. Tijuana, yes I wanna go to Mexico. I'll see you there. Heavy as says XDVN. Man, Digipack's just cooked a mean feast. Digi, you improved your skills. Such heavy, impressive. Bro, this is insanely good. Okay, my pants got wet, guys. Nice build up and drop. Groove is definitely groovy. I don't know. I kind of like it. Nicely done, man. Lots of variation. Mix sounds wicked. Herman is in the chat as well. We got a tune from H-Man coming up in a moment. He says, so cool. Thanks, guys, for your nice words. I still don't like my snare. Can I just comment on your snare quickly? You know what I feel like would take it to the next level? There are a couple of moments where the snare, or maybe even the kick as well, but I kind of had the slight thing on the last song as well. There's like a couple of moments where the snare like does not quite cut through the bass like consistently every time. I like it when the kick and snares like always cut through on a consistent like kind of level, you know? And it feels like there's sort of some moments where there's sort of some overlap and the snare doesn't quite cut through. That's why I often like to do it like on my group at the end, like on the bass group, do my sidechain on there. Nice sharp volume to make sure that whole snare transient really cuts through everything, you know? But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the snare sound. I think it still needs a little bit of cutting through, so you got to make a bit more space for it in one or two moments, I think. Yeah, so maybe just an extra little short side chain to get the transients cut through the bass might help it a little bit. It's the zero alcohol German beer alcohol-free German beer that does it. Snare is nice, says XDVN. Felix, hi. All right, we're going to crack on with the next one then. We have another new member in Discord who recently joined, XDVN, and this one is a long track. It's the longest one we've got, but I'm gonna allow the whole length of it to be played, and it's called Kurt the XD Witches or Origins or something about witches. Anyway, let's crack on and have a listen to this one, my G's.
Switch to your gut, medicine and rally cut for pain. Cut your brain, like a pilot with tape. Simple on the pain, I'll explain in the lion town. If you can learn how to make a fire, I'ma make it burn. I just on the order, dive to the scholar. Etymologist, small summer gun. To put it on to the side. On to the side. We evolve in the life of crime. Crime, fuck the life in the shop. Shine, of the rights in the line. Line, cup with the fuck design. Line, cup with the fuck design. Flashing up, no top. Pops the pockets about, no the boss up. If you're not, it's not for minutes. Get the fucking hole. We'll make it right, we'll make it right. Oh, it better less than mine. You don't finish, say goodnight. At the arrow on the street, I live you did, how you fit. Hits to hit, and the street left gonna take you fit. Choose you water, you swim, still to the ship. It's slow, let's to climb, get a mind. Every horn is take a good time. Bow and I hit you with the loaded zone. Grab a hit, is a burn. Reveal from the life of crime. Crime, such a life for this shine. Shine, of the rights in the line. Line, hope you know the purpose in the time. We born in a life of crime. Crime. Shine, come with the pop design. Your brain like it. I'm a pure adrenaline.
Wow, 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 wow. You've really brought something fresh to the table there. At the end, I was like, I really want to go listen to some Asian Dub Foundation now because I haven't listened to them for a while. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that towards the end. But it's definitely in its own league. It's very unique. Can't wait to read through the comments. Really different. Great to have you in the squad. You've brought a whole new dimension and sound and edge and difference to the to the kind of dynamic. So I'm really, really happy about that. It was an absolute pleasure and a joy to listen to all the way through. I really, really enjoyed it. General mixdown, you know? General mixdown. You need general mixdown improvements all around. That's the number one thing, really. That's the main thing I would say, to be honest. It's just general. Composition and vibe and flow and creativity, you got it all. It's absolutely sick. It's just a few things to improve in your overall mixing skills to make it all even better and enhance what you've already got. There was a couple of moments where you got a bit of distortion coming from one of the sounds. I think it might be the bass. I ended up EQing it a little bit to try and reduce it. It wasn't the whole way through the track, but there was some moments where you had it's kind of like a overload of bass causing a bit of distortion in the top. You know, this kind of thing that happens when you get this bit of fuzzy distortion from too much bass. So that was a little bit of an issue that you would have to fix. And then I wanted to bring up a little bit more brightness on the whole track as well. And then, yeah, and like I said, general mixdown stuff. So it's just about getting a bit more separation between your main elements. You know, maybe a little bit tighter side chaining stuff happening, track spacer stuff, a little bit of like EQing and maybe saturating things a little bit better. The overall balance was pretty nice, and the vocals pretty good. Definitely needs some work on the general mix down of the vocal, but it wasn't bad. It was like definitely like audible. It wasn't at its best that it could be, but you didn't do a bad job with the vocals, and it's hard to get the vocals right. And my advice would be more to build things around the vocals to give them more space than you might think they need, because in my opinion at least, like having the vocal as the main focus in the mid-range and really clearing out everything around it will help to make them stand out and sound better. So that's my advice for that. So it's more about clearing the space for them to be heard a little bit better. But yeah, let's read through the comments. We've got a lot of comments here. So great distorted guitar, says Ride. Mark, what a tune. Great sound. Really positive feedback all around here. Craig, I love this so much. Where's the vocal from? Already love that one. Future Punk Neuro. Yeah, really nice genre fusion here. It's got riffs, Counthouse, and Counthouse knows all about that because he's a riff man. And yeah, I agree. There's loads of wicked riffs in here. Nice and fresh, says NZ Audio. Vocals from a great musician friend, says XD. So cool. It's not a sample. You're using people you know. That's great. Release this one, please, says NZ. I want an album of this, please. Yeah, I can imagine an album of this. Bit like I said, Asian Dub Foundation style would be sick. So many comments. Right. Some nice guitar riffs, says Pascal. Punk and bass. Yeah, really great, unique sound. I love the vocal production. Vocals too loud or weak. Yeah, like I said before, clearing out space for them a bit more. You're extremely talented, mate, says Mark. I love it. And Pascal says he wants to start a mosh pit. Counter says, I'm glad I didn't put a track in now. Come on, mate, your tracks are great too. Guitar parts from the singer. Cool. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, banger. Definitely needs some mixdown stuff, but really interesting and exciting track to listen to. So let's move on then, because we're almost halfway through. But now we've got H-Man in the house, who is, usually making absolute bangers. And we're going to switch it up to more of a Neurofunk kind of style, I think. And so here we are with H-Man and D&B 71. There we go. Short and sweet, just how we like it. Not finished yet, but he wants some more feedback before he carries on. And yeah, I'm going to go straight into the feedback with this one because I feel like you're still sort of at the similar level to the last time I heard from you, which is a very, very high level, very, very advanced, especially in the way that you structure your basses, the way you create energy, the way you go for this classic high impact neuro sound that's just overwhelming but funky and nice. The flow is there. It's really amazing. But the mix down still needs to be taken to that next level. I think it's the drums that let it down a little bit for me. I kind of want to almost say all of the bass and lead is like perfect, you know? It's really filling out the speaker, the stereo stage, filling out all the spectrums perfectly. But the drums, they're not cutting through enough, and they're not matching up to the level of what you've created this like level with your basses and everything, and the drums are not quite up to that standard yet, you know? It's almost two things. It's almost, is there enough brightness actually on that kick and snare to get them to cut through? And also, there's not quite enough space for them to cut through. So you gotta let them pop through more. You gotta take out some volume or go a little bit heavier with your transient shaping on transient sidechain to get them to get the kick and snare to really cut through a little bit more. And then the high end, the cymbals, it feels like you've got this little like kind of tinny cymbals on top that are sort of just got enough space to come in, but like because the bass is like so filling out the whole spectrum. So I want to hear like more of the cymbals and like not just the fucking like 10k hertz really high part. I want to hear more of them. I want a bit more of that percussion flavor in there as well. It's difficult to do that because you've filled out the mix so much already with all the mid basses. But I think you could maybe sacrifice some of the mid basses, certain bits of track spacing or dynamic side chaining, and certain bits of sharp volume, quick side chaining as well, to get a lot of your drum elements to bring the whole drums up in comparison a bit more, you know? So that's my feedback for that one, but really, really great. You know, really amazing songwriting skills. So what are you guys saying in the comments? We've got, let me see, where are we? His Boys Knows his intro too, yep. All the composition parts are great. Intro and drop. Some killers in this group, says Craig. Nice bass design, says Pascal. Probably kind of square wave based bass, I guess. Vocal chop is placed nice. Love the heavy and very nervous epileptic bass line. XDVN is dancing. Definitely got the power to make people dance with your compositions. Absolutely. Just get those mix downs really slamming. Yes, H6 says Count House. Ride says the chopped up part 3/4 towards the end is my favourite part. Yeah, you're really good with the progressions. It's like the energy just keeps going up and up and up. Heavy. I'd like to hear what you do with something a bit of a slower tempo with a bit more space in the mix. I'd like to hear what you can come up with there as well, just to kind of stretch your sort of array of production talents, composition ideas. You know, like to kind of push yourself a bit more, try something a bit more stripped back and minimal. Maybe you'll learn a bit from that as well, and you can improve overall by trying out a bit of a other more laid back style too. That'd be quite fun to hear. Heavy tune. Love that squirty synth sound. It's multiple FM stuff with phase plant. Okay, cool. Phase plant. Love that synth. And yeah, great job in the sound design. Yeah, really cool, Herman. Keep going because you're absolutely on fire with your compositions. Just get the mix downs even better, and then you're going to be absolutely tearing up the dance. Let's carry on then. So now we've got, I don't know if Ian is in the chat. I think he maybe he'll come in later. So I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to put Ride and Mark up because I know you guys are watching now. So let's crack on with Mark. I'm really excited. Actually, sorry, I'm going to crack on with Ride first. This is DJ Ride, Sunset And DJ Ride, longest serving Patreon member in my squad, absolutely legendary dude from in the around London area. Such a nice guy. Here we go with Ride, Sunset. Let's go. Wow, well done, Mr. DJ Jason Ride. Really, really nice there. Sunset, great name for the track, suits the vibe perfectly. I could pick it apart and think of a few tips and things here and there, but really, overall, it feels to me like you've leveled up quite a lot since previous tracks you've sent me. I'm going to stick my neck out and say it's probably my favourite one that you've sent, so I just want to celebrate that, you know? I don't want to pick apart things too much because there's probably 2 or 3 cool little tips I could give you, especially a couple of things with the drums, like on the kick as well. But overall, it feels like the drums are overall much, much better than before. And also the bass and the low end is really, really nice. And yeah, it's you've always been able to make a great vibe, but sometimes the mix downs have been a bit hit and miss. And I think this one in general is a much, much more pleasing listen than other tracks you sent me before. So I want to just take a moment to notice your overall improvement. So I'm really, really happy with that one, bro. Big ups a lot. Really, really like that. Love the vibe. Let's read some of the comments. already gives me classic ride vibes, the intro. Yeah, says Pascal. Mark, what a vibe. Yeah, beautiful, says Count House. Imo, the white noise in the intro is a bit loud. Not sure if I heard that, but you could be right. Love this, mate. Kind of dreamy, I like it. Yeah, it's quite a dreamy track. Mark says this is fantastic. Can't believe I have to follow this. Well, we're gonna really make it hard for you today, Mark, because I might even put your track another one behind another good one. So just really build the tension for you. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So beautiful, says Digipax. Kick sounds a bit loud on my speakers, says Count House. Mark is crying. Craig says, nice soundscape. Does the I do need pitching into key? Yeah, perhaps the vocal it needs a little bit of work in the mix down and slightly with the pitching, perhaps, but it does stick out like a little bit, you know. But that was one of the only elements that kind of stuck out. The rest of it was pretty spot on. Pascal says, I want to hear that at 6 a.m. in the morning while the sun is rising at a festival. Mark says, really nice drum composition and sound. Countess says, one of my favourites of yours, Jason. Also agree. I think it's probably my favourite one I've heard from you. The brass is also really nice, says Pascal. And rides, I'll be taking the call and response first vocal out. Great mood, Digipax. And it's catchy, says XDVN. I've got the melody in my head now. It's a good thing. Yeah, good stuff all round, right? Overall improvement definitely noticed there. So let's not let kick maybe a bit hard for the genre. Yeah, slightly. It almost slams a bit too much, that kick on this track. You know, it's a little bit overdone, it's tiny bit. You know. Anyway. Mark, then let's relieve some tension from Mark and play his song so he can finally, deal with the recovery that he's gonna have to go through after exposing his inner workings of his soul on the internet. All right, Koba, Mark, absolute G. Let's have a listen to Creature. Let's go. Wow, that was absolutely sick. That was absolutely sick. One of my favorites that I've heard on the stream today for sure. Really feels like I feel like I've been thrown into a gutter to die. Like it's been absolutely it's been a bone crunching bass line there. Yeah, I love that first bass. I wouldn't change a thing to it. Yeah, absolutely sick. Great vibe, really dark, nice atmosphere. Absolutely sick, man. Really, really like that. Let's read through some of the comments. Hey everybody, that's my mate Mark. Hey, he's my mate too. Wow, such a mystical intro. Yummy. He's my mate. Everyone's got a claim to fame now. Bro, the bass is sick. Man, this is so sick, says Digipax. Oi, come on, says Craig. Devouring these basses is delicious, says XDVN. Ride says that bass is going to eat me, some scary creature. Keems, my G, big ups for joining, bro. Pascal, definitely a monster. You're getting the bass face, Mark. Good stuff. Where did you get the Atmo? Love it. Very heavy and dark, slinky and dirty, just how I like it. And yeah, really well done, says Pascal. Perfect as it is, minimalistic or great basis to develop a theme with bits of vocals and a catchy synth. Somehow we're in the middle. Cobra smashed it, says Digipax. You've improved so much. I want to have a copy of it. 100%. When is it done? When is it done? When is it done? I want to slam those drums a tiny bit more. Sort of imagine they're about 90% there. I want them a little 10% more push on the drums. And then I want a tiny bit of on the response bass, which I really like. Over here. Boom, boom. This one, I want a bit of a sort of clear out some of the sides in the low end. It's like a little bit too, maybe a little bit too much side information in a little part in the low mid range. It could be cleared out a bit and made a bit more defined that way. But yeah, wow, really, really sick vibe. It's sounding like proper classic kind of dark minimal D&B. Reminds me of people like Dubai or something in that vein, you know, very UK sound, really filthy, really, really filthy. And honestly, that main drop with that main bass wouldn't change a thing on it. And the dark vocal that comes in later on to break up the kind of grittiness and give a bit of like kind of juice. That's the wrong word. Yeah, kind of that, giving that bit of a nice release in the atmosphere. That is a perfect vocal choice as well. That sounds great in there. So yeah, really, really cool. All right, let's move on then. Is there anyone else in the chat that I haven't heard from Ian, Rekiv, or Rory, or Carl in the chat yet, but they might be watching. I'm not sure, but we'll move on anyway. We'll move on with Ian. I don't know if he's here, but we're going to have to carry on. Actually, I tell you what, I know Rory won't be here because he's got work meetings. So let's put Rory on next with Cello Skank. Wow. Well done then, Rory, who is going to probably watch this back later. But yeah, really great. A big improvement from the last track as well, that I've heard from Rory. And some really great dark moods in there with your double upright bass. Yeah, really like it. And also the drums sounding sick. The kick and snare really sounding wicked, on the drop especially. Some really nice elements in there, and like the kick and snare are really up there. Really nice, high quality pro sounds there. Yeah, a few tweaks here and there, a bit of EQing, a bit of overly atmospheric at some moments, almost in the mid range, a bit cloudy, and yeah, but in general, love these kind of switches on the second drop. Really sounding sick. Yeah, not compositionally, it's not quite there yet for me. Yeah, someone feels like it's missing an element. This could be perhaps the case. So what else have you guys been saying anyway? Vibing, love that kind of dub elements in it. I feel like the offbeat piano hit, says Pascal. Nice old school vibes. The bass blends are a little bit out of key. It's got a little bit of it's a little bit dissonant, I would say, in some parts, but whether that's intentional, that's another story, I suppose. Love the bass bends. Bass bends are cool. Crispy drums. Cello adds a real jazz club vibe. Yeah, it has got a good jazz club vibe. Keem's made some great tunes as well. I heard one of yours recently for some mastering that I'm doing. And man, if you want to join in on the Discord feedback stream action, you're more than welcome. But you have to submit your tracks through Discord for this particular live stream, unfortunately. But thanks a lot, bro. Will be great with a bit of tuning of tonal elements and less front kick, my ears say. Thanks, XDVN, for the feedback. And nice tune, says Ride. Yeah, really nice overall. And yeah, I really like the drums, especially. It sounded really punchy and up there. So, let's move on then. Let's move on to Ian with Danger. I think this is an older track from Ian. So, yeah, it's not one of his most recent works, but he wanted to submit a track anyway. So, here we go with Danger, work in progress. The end part.
This was my favourite bit, Ian, when you rewatch this.
That bit with the little click on the end of the sub. I'm glad you left that in for us. It was really, really my favourite part of the song. I'm just joking. Ian can take a joke because he's an absolute joker and he's a G. What are we saying then? Keems, yeah, going to join at the end of the month. Come on, mate, join Patreon. Yeah, you're going to fit right in, mate, so don't worry about it. No rush, no rush. Ooh, says Mark. Pascal, gnarly sound design. Be right back, desperate for a wee. Oh, that was me. Yeah, I've actually heard this song before, so I remember it very well. Rockin' riff end phrases. Pascal says heavy. Haha, this is great, Ian. Snare got a punch more, says XDVN. Love the rock and roll groove. Yeah, I guess the snare could cut through a bit more, says Pascal. Oh, nice. I like the sound design, says Craig. Mark says it's like having someone scream in your face while you do your maths homework. Awesome, bro. Who does their maths homework? Just use ChatGPT. Seriously, come on. Ha ha ha. I love maths and I love screams, so that's cool. 60. Love it. The snare just needs to be a bit clearer. Artifact, are you putting that P on your OnlyFans? Of course I am. It's going to be bottled and sold on eBay afterwards as well. Maybe needs new thing on the last part, cool tune. Great Vox sample. Yeah. Like I said, I've heard it before. It's a little bit of an older one from Ian. He's improved his mix down and sound design a bit since this track, I believe. But I'm glad he submitted it because I still really like it and it's got its own unique flavour and flair to it. I really like the tune. But yeah, mix down wise, it's not perfect. It does want the drums to cut through a bit more. And also we kind of want a bit of more clarity in the mid bass. It's a bit overly stereoed, so you've lost a bit of the kind of main mono part of it, you know. But overall, I think we all enjoy the vibe very, very much. So thanks for that, Ian. Let's move on then, because I do actually have to teach a lesson fairly soon in the next within the next hour. So got to speed up a little bit here. But we'll go for Carl or Rekiv next. Let's do Carl next. I want to save Rekiv for the end because I'm super excited about the young Belgian talent. But also, Carl never ceases to amaze me either. So let's start with this one though. Bones from Carl. Anyway, Carl, if you're watching, we're going to stop with all this self-doubting nonsense because this is an absolute fire track. What have you guys been saying? Oh my G. Sounds like a swarm of bees is just behind you. Awesome, says Pascal. XD says, I love these basses. I'd push them up in the mix. Keems with the fire. Such dark vibes. Love it. Mark says, this definitely feels like Carl expressing himself through music. Could not agree more with that comment. Absolutely, absolutely true. Best one I've heard so far from Carl. Wowzers. Feels like you're being followed by something dark. Yeah, I love the darkness on this track. It's really, really classic. It reminds me of some old school ST Files, or a track called Falling Down by ST Files. These really overly distorted drums as well. Very industrial. Love that. Reminds me a little bit of that. It's like the kind of drums, they're so over distorted. It's like they're sort of 5% too much. I'd bring that distortion off just a few percent, then it would be perfect. But I love the flavour of them though. Epic. Super vibey. The minimal lead is sick, dark and dirty, says Digipax. You got some good feedback from a wicked producer there, mate. The wobble bass could happen again in the breakdown before it drops again. Could make this break a little bit more long, I guess, and do it rise to the drop. Could be a good idea. What a monster of a track, says Ride. That bass sounds like a tsunami, just engulf half of the coast. There you go. Track, says Counthouse. Sorry, I get confused, so many names. Craig is giving the throwing up emoji because it's absolutely disgusting. And very catchy tune as it is. It says XDVN. Besides a bit of mixed down tweaks, I guess. Yeah, a couple of little mixed down tweaks. Almost toning back a little bit on a couple of the overly distorted parts. Make it perfect. I like that. Needs to EQ one bass, little wobble, so it doesn't clash with the main sub, Keems says. Damn, really good work, Carl. Yeah, a couple of little mixed down tweaks and that, but nothing major. Overall, you've got a absolutely sick vibe, dark, industrial, just how I like it. And it also feels like you're really expressing yourself through the music. We can hear that like kind of intensity and emotion in the song. So I've really, really enjoyed that. All right then, my G's. I must say we are on to the last one, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll have a little brief celebration at the end. I don't know how I'm going to celebrate, but we'll have words at the end. But let's get into our final track then from our young up and coming talent Rekiv from Belgium, who actually designed also the logo for my new label. So big ups to you, bro. Active Discord member, legend. Here we go, Rekiv with VI01. I believe it may be a non-D&B track, but let's have a listen. we go, guys. Obviously, you're not quite finished yet, but we've got a great sense for what that track is all about. Dope intro structure and feels. This is XDVN. Slurp you dirt, Big G. Big ups, Mike. Absolute pleasure to have you awaken with us from the USA. Shout out to all the USA crew. I look up my feedback, my analytics often, and UK and US, the top two countries who watch the channel, and then I think Germany after that. But yeah, massive shout out to the USA crew. Sorry I'm streaming a bit early for you guys, but I have other commitments later, otherwise I would have done it later. Anyway, banger, says Pascal. This is D&B, says Counthouse. Really great drums. Mark Digipack says, I wish I would have had a little bit of his style. Amazing track. Mark says that snare is making him melt. I agree. That snare is very nice. The Foley on that is just, you bring the texture, Rekhi, you bring the high energy, you bring the melodic flavor and twists. I love that little doom melody and the sound design on that. And then the second time when it comes around and you really mess up the timing on it and really trick my sense of what's going on, but it just works, you know. It's really creative. So many style points and flair. There's a tiny bit of over distortion in some parts. I'm just like, come on. It's like you've gone slightly over on certain parts in the high end where they become like slightly too much, you know. But let's not take away from the fact that it's an absolute banger though. Pascal agrees as well. Yeah, there's a couple of points where it's just like you just slammed it too hard, you know. Just rein it back a bit. A couple of these moments where it's gone a little bit much, but it doesn't happen all the time. It's only in a certain few moments. Sounds killer, says Mike. It's huge and catchy. Seems there's loads of distortion in the summing, the snare cranks, but it may be intentional. Yeah, it's interesting because you're intentionally got this high-end, high-energy texture, so I know exactly what you're trying to do, but there are a couple of moments where it does feel like it's over-distortion, so just reining it back a little bit and finding that balance is going to be exactly what you need to do. Just bring it back a little bit. It's like when you first started, your high-end was kind of missing. You missed that clarity and brightness. Now I feel like you've got that clarity and brightness, but it's gone like slightly too far, you know, in the distortion. So just keep balancing your sound, refining it, and you're like almost there. But it's absolutely sick though. Style points, flair, composition, really amazing. Yeah. Knowing Kevin, it's intentional. Yeah, probably. I'm probably saying this to you, and you're probably like, "Shut up, mate. I know what I'm doing." But yeah, great track to finish on because that was a real vibe, really modern, really nice energy on that. And wow, this has been quite a long stream, I suppose. I do need to go because I got to teach a lesson soon and I need to get some food in my belly because I'm feeling a bit lightheaded after all this coffee and all this talking and trying to remember names and trying to read off a screen. But anyway, this has been, again, I probably would say the best feedback stream so far. The quality has just, again, leveled up from everyone. I'm super proud of a lot of you guys. Callie, literally, I think that vibe suits you so nicely. You've got really in the zone on that one. Nine Wrenches, great to hear from you. Really like that vibe too. Craig, you absolute beast. That was an absolute banger. Digipax also absolutely smashed that one again. We got to talk about that one. And yeah, XD Vane, great to hear from you. Love that new dimension of genre fusion that you bring to the group. H-Man, again, your sound, your flow and energy is insane. Get those mixdowns perfect and you're going to be unstoppable. Ride, super leveled up mixdown wise, not 100% perfect yet, but it's definitely getting there. And I love the vibe on that one. Koba, you really came with the darkness there. It's absolutely smashed that minimal vibe. Almost there with that one, but really great. Rory as well, when you're rewatching this, definitely leveling up from the last track from which we worked on. Definite improvement there. Drums sounding sick. Ian, I know it's your older track, but I do like the fact you've submitted it, and I like the flavour and character on that one. Definitely. Carl, absolutely super proud of you, bruv. That is literally such a nice dark industrial vibe on there, and like Mark said, we really hear you expressing yourself through that one. Rekiv, again, don't just be patient and keep going the way you're going, because you're making some absolutely revolutionary compositional ideas in your tracks, man. I really like them. Okay, guys, that's gonna wrap it up then for today. We've had 12 absolute bangers. Hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, and stick around on the channel. We've got more videos coming up in the next few days, tutorials, things like that. We've got new release for the label next week, and we'll do some more production live streams soon. We'll do another feedback stream like this in a month, about a month's time or something like that. If you guys want to get involved, just join Discord. There's some open spots in there on the €5 tier, so not too much to get in. And can't wait to see what you guys come up with next. So thanks a lot, my G. It's been a real pleasure today to listen to all of your tunes, and I hope you feel encouraged to keep going, because I'm really super impressed with all of you guys today. Big ups, my dudes. Have a great weekend, and I'll chat to you guys in Discord as well. Ciao.